Welcome to Pinned and Broken, a Warpath Universe podcast, focus on Epic Warpath. This is our first episode, so don't expect anything amazing. I'm Drek, and I am joined by Jordan. Say hey.
Hey.
Carol.
Hi.
Don.
Hi.
And Progenitor Shivak.
Oh, we're going with that. Hi, everybody.
I don't know. Did you prefer Huskarl?
You know what? We'll keep Progenitor.
It just seems so much more you.
Yeah.
It can change. It can change every month.
You know, the intonation with the way you said our names, I feel like you were questioning if those are really our names.
Well, I question everything. I don't know any of you for real.
Are you there, Don?
Are you there, Don? It's me, Jesus.
Huffing a lot of plastic glue, so if you don't hear from me in a while.
If we hear the collapse, we'll laugh. So, let's get this thing started. So, who are we? We formerly did a podcast called Command Value 1 for the Drop Zone Commander universe. Collectively, with the exception of Gordo and I, we all kind of met through that game, and for several years played the heck out of it, ran events, and were Don's boost babes at cons for years. And then collectively all kind of moved on from there. And we've
you are leaving out that we did a buttload of playtesting too.
Well, yeah, we did a lot, but I don't want to dwell on the past. I want to talk about the future. But collectively, we've all kind of finally settled in to Mantic's Epic Warpath game. And after Michigan Grand Tournament, we decided that it would be fun to abuse ourselves by firing up another podcast. So, as far as the point of this podcast, I think it's really just to air our thoughts about Epic, state of the game, thoughts on units, armies, tactics, strategies, all the basic stuff. So to get into that, I guess, who are we playing? Gordo, what is your army of choice?
I'm going to start.
And why?
I'm going to start with Marauders, and because it's what I picked in Firefight. I thought.
Well, I noticed. I noticed you said Firefight, but not Dead Zone.
Yeah, I haven't played Dead Zone enough to. I don't know.
I can give you some pointers at losing at Dead Zone. So you're sticking with the Marauders because that's who you're playing. Anything in the Epic Marauders really caught your eye?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like all of it. The Walker's cool.
Is that one of their super heavies?
Yeah. Well, and like you said, you know, the the Rainmakers and the Stunt Bot shrunk down. They're just so cute.
They're adorable. Those shrunk down Rainmakers look literally like just scans of the 28 mil models, just shrunk. Kira, what about you? Who are you playing and why?
I started with GCPS mainly because I like those kinds of armies in any game, and also that's the army that I've been working on for Firefight.
All right, Don?
I have GCPS and Plague. I have yet to decide a primary army yet.
Any leanings?
Plague is something I would look at more thematically pleasing, but I typically, when I start a new game, go for like the generic humans, which is why GCPS was the army I'm starting to build first for Firefight and Epic Warpath.
Are you saying you're a basic bitch? Are you saying you're a basic bitch?
I am a basic bitch.
Donald, the champion of the basic.
Oh, we're demonetized already, guys. Come on.
I didn't take long.
Shit, there was money involved with this thing? Check out Josh's OnlyFans. I mean Patreon.
Best feet pick in the hobby. You know, I started out with Veerman, and after playing at Michigan GT, I really liked how the army played, but for some reason, I cannot get over the HQ choices in Veerman and how much I despise the rules for them. So right now, I'm currently looking at the Forge Fathers, and I've got a whole bunch that I'm staring at as I'm painting as we record here.
I feel like you're just playing Forge Fathers to try to get in good with Ronnie.
What is he a dwarf player?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's probably why they're super heavy as armor 10.
yeah, that'll be really
Ronnie broke him.
exciting.
Ronnie broke him just so he could win. I'm playing everything. I backed Epic at an obscene level, and I have all the armies. But my main is Enforcers because, I mean, we can call Don a basic bitch, but genetically augmented super soldiers and power armor really just speaks to my soul. And I killed a bunch of rats with them at Michigan GT, so that felt good.
You feel good about yourself doing that?
I did. I felt good beating Josh in our first ever game, where neither of us really knew what we were doing.
I don't think I won a single game at that whole weekend.
Well, technically, neither did I. So, and I was in 2 tournaments.
Kept that streak alive.
Yep, working towards the future. I haven't won a game, Gordo, since we played last year, right before, or I guess it was this year, right before Adepticon. That was the start of my losing streak, and I have not won a single game since then, except for one game of Halo.
I broke you.
You broke me. So, we've got a diverse range of armies between us. Joel, another friend of ours who is not here, I think he's playing Enforcers and Asterians were his 2 armies, weren't they?
Yep.
I think that's correct.
And Carol, you played Joel at MGT. How did that game go for you? That was
It
some
went
Enforcer.
well. So you did not 3D print me enough core choices, so we had to make do. And I included more support choices than were legally allowed by list building rules. So looking back, I don't know if I can really count it as like a legitimate win, but
Oh, so
I
you
did
cheated.
crush Joel.
Cheater.
Yeah, pretty much. You should have
Joel,
foreseen that I would need more GCPS veterans than just 3 units.
I'm sorry, the jug of resin I printed for you was inadequate.
Exactly. Inadequate. Yeah. So in that game, I took 3 squads of vets, all in the tracked APCs. I forget what they're called.
Wolverines!
Yeah, Wolverine. Then I had I had 2 squads of Wolverine tanks. I had 1 squad of artillery. And let's see, I had 1 HQ. Oh, and Ranger tank hunters and the air transports. And
Hornets.
yep, Hornets. So I gotta say, everything worked really well. I really enjoyed having a fully mechanized force. And tank hunters are awesome, and I'm excitedly putting together and painting my second squad of them right now.
Flyers are always an interesting thing in games. How did you feel mechanically the Hornets worked with fly rule on them, meaning they had to move 12 inches every turn?
It didn't really bother me. I think we played that right. I think I moved it at least 12 inches every turn, but I
And you have
very
to set
much
your
felt
facing
like
at the end of your movement.
yeah, very much felt similar to Drop Zone Commander, and I used the flyers, hugging terrain, hugging a couple of buildings, and dropping almost out in the open, right next to an important objective of the game, and crushed an entire squad of what are they called, peacekeepers, with them to keep them off the objective.
Well, I reject that reality. Peacekeepers do not get crushed. They may be driven away, but never crushed.
No. They were killed down to like 1 base. They were very
they may have been
much catered.
pathfinders, but not peacekeepers. Maybe operatives, maybe.
But yeah, like artillery, I think works really well. Like very simple rules, very fun, engaging. Um, Makes me wish that I was able to take more artillery. And the Wolverine tanks are probably my favorite unit that I used.
Yeah, I didn't get to. I didn't include any artillery in my enforcer list that I played against Josh, but I was there when Don was using the plague, and I really, I don't want to use the word swingy, but I really liked the way the artillery functioned as far as getting the shots to land. Um, I enjoy a scatter die.
Me
I had some
too.
really good hits with them. I got to see both sides of it, the complete miss and the devastating hit.
Oh yeah, they were spicy.
My first salvo of artillery in Epic ever ended up missing wildly with a scattered eye and landing smack in the middle of like 3 or 4 units and hitting none of them.
Oh, they were warning shots.
We were ranging in.
That's the way to determine it.
So
Jordan, you didn't get the. Go ahead, Carol.
I've been doing a lot of theory list building ever since that game. I'm just really excited to try new things.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it on the table a lot more than we could get it in there at MGT. But so you got to play Joel, I got to play Josh, and then Josh, you also got to play Don, correct?
Yes.
Hmm.
And then Jordan, you got to essentially assemble your army.
Yes, I put together lots of orcs.
So at least Marauders were there in spirit.
I got all 6 of my sprues together.
Woo! And you printed like everything already too, didn't you, for your reinforcements?
Yes.
So I guess moving the subject along here.
I should say on the topic of like spending a lot of time putting things together at GT that
Oh
first
Jesus,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, we can't
But
gloss
so-
that one over.
that was something.
So I showed up, what was it, Friday, like late morning, early afternoon. And I got a giant box of resin from you, which thank you very much. I
You're
sat in
welcome very
one
much.
I sat in one spot, completely in the zone, putting together probably 2,000, just under 2,000 points worth of DCPS models. And I went from unassembled 3D printed resin in plastic bags to a primed and base coated army by the next morning.
What he leaves out is he actually took a sheet of cardboard outside in a rattle can, just right outside the convention center, and primed all of that stuff.
Yep,
Which
and then I used contrast or army painter
speed
contrast
paints.
version speed
Speed paint,
paints.
man. We don't need GW suing us.
Yeah, but I used some speed paints. That was my first experience with speed paints, by the way, and they worked great.
Oh, really? You've never used speed paints before?
No,
I think Josh and Jordan swear by them.
I do enjoy them.
I swear by them too now.
They certainly make some stuff at epic scale a lot easier. My Asterians that I painted up, all I did with them was I primed them black, I based them purple, and then I did a white zenithal, and then I sprayed them with slaughter red for my base coat. And yeah, I mean, I had that entire army, 1,500 points of that army based in a day.
Nice. Oh, I should also say one of my squads, infantry squads, was fully painted and based with texture paint, and 2 of my squads plus my HQ vehicle were weathered. I actually got to the level of using pigments while you guys
Nice.
were gaming to have a couple units fully finished.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple of times on Friday I was sitting over there at the firefight table, and I looked back, and I'm like, I feel kind of bad. Carol's just over there by himself. I didn't realize that I had brought a painting lamp, and I didn't realize the battery pack had died. I wish you'd told me because I had 2 battery packs.
But it's all good.
Spared your eyes.
I was in the zone.
AutoZone.
AutoZone
Sure.
is not a
Yeah.
sponsor of the Pinned and Broken podcast.
The models are fantastic to put together. Except there were a couple of issues with what are they called? The flyer units.
Hornets?
Yeah, the Hornets, their cargo bays not lining up, but I got it to work good enough. And the 3D printed infantry that you gave me, I had to file down the edge of their little round stand to fit into the infantry base. Otherwise, they didn't quite fit in there. But everything else just went together beautifully.
Yeah,
And
you get some
there's
weird swelling and fitting issues with resin as it dries and cures. And since I was trying to get all that stuff printed out before MGT, I was working at breakneck pace. So some of it may have dried longer, some of it may not have dried long enough. And
it wasn't a big deal. And then like the super heavies that you printed for me, the giant walker thing went together perfect. Like it it is just a beautifully designed model with a lot of articulation. You know,
yeah,
holding it to get it to glue together, how I wanted. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but the articulation and the posing on it, amazing.
I noted that when you were putting it together. I really liked that you could actually pose the unit as you were assembling it, which is going to be nice,
Yeah,
especially if you want to run 2 or 3 of them, because you can get some dynamic poses out of them, so they're visually different models.
Can you have
yeah.
three
And then just
companies
there's
that you can
enough
run through?
texture and detail on everything that it's such a pleasure to paint.
What was that question you had, Gordon?
Said you're talking super heavies. You said 3. Can you run 3 companies? Guess
I
4
mean,
points.
big enough game.
As,
Big enough
yeah,
game.
so as long as you have 2 troops and an HQ, you can have in each company minimum, you can have as many companies as you want, as far as I'm aware, in army building.
That is correct. Yeah, each company requires an HQ and 2 troops.
So I've
Um,
actually built a couple of lists with like 2,000 points, and I think I stuffed in like 3 super heavies at the most. Now, granted, at that point, you're only taking troops in HQ and super heavies, so it's kind of a ridiculous list.
If we go list theory land, I think the GCPS are the only guys who are able to really pull that off in a viable list, just because they have the rule on their battle mechs that the unit strength is like 9 or something like that on those guys. So
yeah,
you're not gonna be
those
able to try and just be like, oh, I'll rush a unit over and outclaim that from them.
yeah, those mofos know how to hold territory, that's for sure. But that's an interesting point to bring up to move on to the next subject, I guess, is that as awesome as those starter boxes are, you're only looking at a handful of core units. So, like as an enforcer player, I get 3 full squads of enforcer operatives, and I don't run a lot of assault enforcers. I don't run them much in dead zone or firefight or anywhere. So, I want more operatives. And going with just the plastic boxes, you're looking at dropping what is it, 90 pounds, 120 US to purchase another box, and you may only want 3 more squads of operatives out of that. So that brings up the frontier. And if you were a Kickstarter backer, the information that they just released on that frontier is that you're going to be able to purchase all of the core unit STLs if you had backed the STL packs for the game at $5 an army. And that's a heck of a deal. Give me one moment.
Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, do,
I don't
do,
know
do.
if you could hear in the background, I had a toddler yelling down that she loved me, which was very
Oh,
sweet.
no, we did
Aw.
not hear that.
and, and I had to respond to her, or she was just going to keep standing at the top of the stairs and yelling, and then I was going to feel like a monster. So yeah, if you backed the STL files, which yeah, I did, it's going to be five pounds. So what is that, like 750 US to buy each army's STL pack to get all the core units as STLs for printing. And my understanding too is that there will also be print on demand. Given tariff issues and whatnot, there are going to be people in the U.S. and probably around the world. I don't know for sure. That will be able to print and ship you just your custom models. So Don playing Plague and wants another squad of Leapers, you can get it,
Yeah,
which I think is freaking awesome.
it's really phenomenal, and I give all mad props to Mantic for doing that. Especially how they were able to fulfill all the orders going out just to get the Kickstarter released with the tariff issues that they kind of like ate all those tariff costs, and they're doing this to for the 3D hobbyists, 3D resin printing hobbyists. Well, actually, there's been a lot of people who are doing the FDM printing as well for the tanks that have looked really good. Have you guys seen those?
Yeah, I've
That's
been
awesome.
surprised at some of the FDM quality that I've seen pop up in the Epic Fanatic group.
But yeah, no, Mantic deserves all sorts of praise for taking these steps, and I think it's going to make Firefight a real healthy game to get groups together and playing.
I think you were standing there when we were at the MGT. We went to the Mantic night, and I know you went over and said some kind words to Ronnie in regards to Epic, and I took a minute just to thank him for that very thing. It's like, rushing out the U.S. orders to try to avoid tariff and try to save everybody a couple of bucks and take care of the backers. And um, he made his response to something along the lines of, he's like, yeah, you can worry about the red ink and the black ink, but you piss off your players, and that's bad. And he
He
has a
was
really go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he was very pleasurable to meet, have a conversation with. Definitely enthusiastic for his brand.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mantic just has a very inclusive attitude. And I mean, you compare it to like a GW event, and you go and it's like, it's an official event, you have to have all official models, and Mantic's like, we would like you to have all official models. Like that alone is cool. But the fact that they're between the vault and now with this STL release for Epic, the links that they're going to in the industry to make official models available to the player base is really cool. Whether you have a resin printer, or you have a friend who has a resin printer, or you just purchase from a certified seller, that accessibility is awesome. Because there's not a lot of shops around me that stock much Mantic. I mean, Halo's getting a lot of stock because it's Halo and it's done super well for them. But outside of that, it's hard for me to go to a store and be like, I want to pick up something for Dead Zone or Firefight.
The new thing for Kings of War, is it Champions or something? My local
Well,
game
the
store has
newest thing is going to be 4th edition, is
well,
dropping
okay.
into the month, I think.
That,
But yeah, Kings of War Champions is
yeah.
is a new game. It's I have it if you ever want to play it. I need to finish getting the starter assembled. But it's really just a light introductory to Rank and Flank. You've got a champion and like 3 units.
Gotcha.
It plays on a pretty small table. I mean, you can toss it out on pretty much any dining room table, and all the army lists are pre-constructed. You buy the box, you build the box, you play the game.
But the crunch of it isn't even like King's Light. It's still King's. It's just take out the list building smaller maps.
Yeah. And some number tweaks to make it work better at that smaller scale.
I didn't mean to derail on that. I just happened to see that at my local game store. I was like, oh yeah, that's Mantic.
Listen, while our focus is on the Warpath universe, we are absolutely allowed to talk about all things Mantic, and maybe even all things gaming. I mean, do we want to talk about Gamic getting sued by GW? We can. That's a hot button issue. We can talk about that.
I don't even know what that is. So
Oh, seriously? You've not heard about that?
No, yeah.
So I think it's pronounced Gamic. I think he's an Italian STL creator. It's like him and a dozen other artists, and they produce STLs. They sell them all over My Mini Factory, and a lot of them are. There's a lot of 40K alternatives. I guess GW sent them a cease and desist like 3 years ago, and they're like, tell us what models offended you. And there was like no response. And GW has recently just gone full out and sued them for unfair competition. Basically, and this is my understanding from a Spiky Bits article, so how accurate it is in the long run, I can't tell you. But basically what that article said was that they're suing them for this unfair competition because those models could be used in GW games. Not that they're copyright infringement, just that they could be used in their games, and that's not fair. But the fear is that if they can pressure Gamic into basically either pulling down his library or going out of business from legal fees, that's going to give them a legal foothold and precedent to basically look at anybody producing STLs on the internet and say, oh, well, that could be used in one of our games, so you can't do that.
Well, I mean,
And I don't know.
They could go after like bit sellers too with that, because I mean, how many bit sellers like Victoria Miniatures or whatever else have GW or basic 28 millimeter,
No,
soldier
you're absolutely right. I mean,
like compatible bits.
they
Like
can
my
say,
entire GCPS army is based off those bit. Well, not my entire army, but like all of the weapon bits, add-ons, heads, like all that stuff. It comes from those bit sellers.
right.
It's fantastic that Mantic doesn't care, but yeah, GW would not be happy.
Well, at the end of the day, though, your army's still official Mantic models. You just kit bash stuff onto them to make them yours.
Yeah.
And I think even in like the competitive scene, GW doesn't care if you kit bash stuff onto your models, as long as they're like, you can tell they're GW models. But that lawsuit, though, if you take it on further, then what would stop them from, after they sued Gamic out of existence, to turn even on like Mantic and say, well, these enforcers are designed for firefight, but you could use them as Space Marines.
Yeah, I don't see how that could
I
win.
can't see how it can win, but I also know that GW is a $1 billion company, and the dude that runs Gamic is not.
Or
So he went
patrician to them.
precisely. So he went to a GoFundMe, and he's just like, listen, we can't just let them stomp us into the ground. We need to take legal action and fight back.
You're gonna make me look up this lawsuit because I can't believe that it's based off of could be used in our game.
Yeah, well, a lot of people were saying that too. It's like, really? And I saw a dude that did a YouTube video on it just yesterday too, and he's like, well, he's like, some of them, he's like, it could be a translation issue. He's like, there are obvious models that are proxies, right? There's obvious stuff that's like, that's their Space Marines, that's their Eldar, and to the point, I know they've sent out cease and desist. It's like, okay, you went a little too close to the mark with that one, take it down. And I can even respect them doing that. But
Sure.
there's a lot of stuff that is that Gamic library is huge. And while there is some stuff where it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely an obliterator, there's also a lot of stuff where it's like, well, dude writing winged monster is not really a trademarkable, copyrightable thing, But back on subject, as we sidetracked off.
Yes, let's get back on track.
So
I didn't think we were talking about Star Trek.
Track, not Trek, you son of a. So interestingly enough, I don't know if you guys have played around on the companion app much at all, but I mean, obviously you've messed with the list builder, but did you see that they've already got the organized play and the rankings and everything up in the app?
Yes, I did.
Which means when we finally get a game day scheduled, we can just organize our own tournament so that Jordan can be one of the top 20 players in Firefight and Epic in the world.
Yeah. I got bumped down to what, like 15 or something?
You know what? I can look because I'm on it right now. Firefight rankings.
If you scroll to the bottom, I'm at there.
There's been an event or two since MGT. Jordan, you are 12th in the world right now.
Didn't drop as much as you thought.
You are the 12th best player in the world.
Not
Don,
true.
I don't.
Donald Roach is the 46th, which is 2 above me at 48.
That's accurate.
Out of how many total players?
Let me scroll down to the bottom. 62 are the total ranked players, and coming in at 62 with 0 ranking score is one progenitor Shivak.
Nice.
Bring up the rear.
So no matter how bad I am, I'm still not as bad as Josh yet.
I do like how they've got the in the companion app how you're able to easily access the tournaments and stuff. But here's a question. Did you see that there's now a rules assistant and you can ask it questions?
You say what?
Yeah.
I
Where?
saw the post. I didn't look into it, but I saw the post.
If you go in under Epic Warpath, in the
Ask the
rules
rules
area.
assistant a question.
So I just asked it, how do I determine cover? And you give it about 10 seconds or so, and it spits out, here, about a paragraph of how you go about doing it, and it tells you everything you need to know. It's pretty
And
sweet.
all it did was cause a brownout in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, we don't care about LA.
Sorry. I can't make AI jokes. I've generated AI slop with my firefight models to entertain myself and some others.
Mainly yourself.
Mainly myself. No one else cares.
But yeah, no. So the rules assistant is in beta, but it seems to work really well. I've given it a couple of queries, and it checks out from my understanding of the rules.
Well, that's a nice segue. We can talk about the companion in general. I subscribe to it and the Vault, so I pay like it's what $12 a month I think for everything. Which like last month's companion or this month's companion update was Asterion Kalishis and Spectra Blade Masters. Like those models alone is $60+ in models that I can now print at my leisure. So it's in my opinion an extremely worthwhile investment. And the list builder I think is really nicely done. I don't know if you guys have feelings on it.
I like it.
I for sure like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've only ever used it on my phone, and I didn't have any issues with it at all.
I will say my only critique of it is I didn't understand how to create a new army or a new company to add in different things right away. But other than that, it works flawlessly.
The digital rules compilation is really nicely done too. I didn't think for the longest time I wanted a dead tree in my hand in regards to like keeping track of rules and looking stuff up as we played. But MGT, I took my iPad with me and I straight up I just used the companion and it was super fast and super easy and everything's linked when you're looking for stuff. It's really nicely done. And well worth the price of admission. My only complaint is that I also pay an additional like $3 a month for the Halo one. Not because I'm a hardcore Halo player, but because my local play community is pretty much Halo. So the events that I'm doing are almost exclusively that.
Oh, is the Halo list thing different? Oh, I guess it's not included.
Yes, but I my understanding is that it is different because it is licensed.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Same reason we won't see Halo stuff in the vault. Which yeah, it does. It makes complete sense. But I mean, it's essentially it's Dead Zone. Just play Dead Zone. Just play Dead Zone, guys. Play some Dead Zone with me. I need to get better at Dead Zone. Don, you only have to pay
Wrong
like
game,
12
dude.
models for Dead Zone.
We're talking about Epic.
Same universe. It's a Warpath universe podcast, Kiro. Focused
Just
on Epic.
imagine like one squad or one base of guys, and that's Dead Zone, right?
I was thinking it might be fun to, not put them on the round bases and just downsize a Dead Zone table and then play Pocket Dead Zone or Pocket Warpath with Epic Minis. Now that I've said it, you're all thinking about it, aren't you?
As long as you magnetize it, like a little travel chess set, that would work
Yeah,
great.
dude, just like a hole punch with the refrigerator magnet onto the bottom of the base, and then you can hook it up like the old electric football tables that just vibrated and moved the guys across the table. Did I just show my age?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Well, let's wrap this up so I can go die. So we talked about the STL pack and all of that coming out, but anything you're hoping to see come out of this game in the near future? We've got 4 armies, I believe, that are officially hit retail, which is Enforcers, Plague, Asterians, and Forge Fathers. GCPS and Nameless are up for pre-order and due out in January, which would lead me to believe that Marauders and Veerman will be available probably by Adepticon next year, if I were a gambling man.
That's cool. I didn't realize they had retail already.
Yeah, pledges should be done soon. I have not gotten my GCPS or Marauders yet, but I got the big box of everything else super early, so I'm not complaining. But I know when we talked to Ronnie at MGT, he was thinking 3 or 4 weeks to get everything out the door to finish it up, which I imagine they're going to be trying to push it out quick because Feet First into Hell should be dropping probably in the next week or two, which is the next Halo expansion.
And Kings of War 4, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's not just books. They announced that whole new army.
Right.
Which I still kind of want to do a pug army.
What's the new army?
Yeah, I know what. I
It's
can't remember the name.
No, it's on the website, so you can talk about it. It's like the Zerkali, but they're dogs. They're
Okay.
Think
dogs.
samurai dogs.
Yeah, more
Maybe not.
Mongol.
More Mongol, yeah.
Mongol, yeah.
It's kind of a cool little aesthetic on them. I like some of the models, but Kings of War is a daunting hobby task in my opinion. I have not been able to. I look at my two regiments of orcs up there, and I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Manic front page right now of the banner for that faction, and the leader's got it's a very clever, like, Fu Manchu goatee on the dog. It's a pretty cool model.
Yeah, they're sharp looking.
It's not all dogs though. There's a bunch of monks that are human.
See, I thought those were like Avatar knockoff guys, right?
They're probably slaves
I mean,
captured by the mean dogs and forced to fight for them.
As much as Avatar kind of looks like a monk anyway, so
Yeah, I know.
So I know Ronnie did an Ask Me Anything a while back and hinted of stuff coming for Epic, like additional waves of new models. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind that your list doesn't have right now from like Firefight, for example, that you want to see pop up in Epic?
I think they just added new units in the army builder, didn't they?
For Epic?
Not that I'm aware.
Because like, don't Veerman have some sort of new like virus bomber thing?
I don't see anything new under Enforcers, but
I thought I saw it in the Facebook earlier. Ignore me.
you are ignored.
So for GCPS, I want more list building options, which I want to be able to build like a fully air assault or air mobile army, which I can't do right now. Um, that would be really really awesome. And then as
Yeah.
far as like actual models, I mean, we have mostly everything. We don't have like the recruits for a troop choice. We don't have some of the variants of the walkers. What are they called?
Striders.
Yeah, we don't have all the Strider variants.
The interesting thing about all the Strider variants is that they are all in the game one way or the other. So, for
Yep.
example, like in Firefight, I use the Ajax frame on my Enforcer Striders just to differentiate them from my GCPS Striders.
Yep.
And I printed a bunch of Ajax frames and slapped burst lasers on them for my
Hmm.
Enforcers. But there is the reinforcement STLs includes a Polaris cannon. There's just not stats for it in the game, but the burst
Yep.
laser allows you to fire an AP shot, which is essentially the Polaris equivalent. It's just one singular unit.
Yeah. So I am curious to see where they will go with expansion of different units, and I hope to see really cool stuff. Oh, the other thing that I want is the Ranger Lieutenant at HQ, because I want to be able to build a full Ranger list,
Mhm.
and right now I can't.
Yeah, you'd have to BS it.
I'll say also can piggybacking onto GCPS. They correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see any option to bolster the vehicles like in their firefight form with the your commander die option.
The Canis.
Yeah, you all know there's the faction die option you can do to make some of your vehicles better. And right now, it seems like I don't know. Once you delivered stuff, kind of run into the same problem we run into with Drop Zone Commander when we were playing. Was like you have all these vehicles on the table that aren't really serving as much of a purpose as you hope that they would.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know. Like my APCs, like what are they called? The tracked ones for
the Wolverines.
GCPS. Yeah, the Wolverines. They have pinning on their weapons, and I found pinning quite useful in the one game that
Yeah.
I played.
Well, yeah, it's gonna forces your opponent into just taking an advance action.
Right, they're
Yeah.
useful. I'm just saying there's no like cohesion between them.
Yeah, well, I mean, the mules just have an autocannon range 15 one die. So at best case scenario, you're throwing 3 dice. So once they've dropped off the squad, they don't cause a lot of threat. Yeah, and people argue in Firefight they don't either because they can get shot off the table pretty quick. But you can slap an AP three shot laser on top of them, and I think that's kind of intimidating. But for me to it's easier for me to bring AP in my enforcer list now, but for a while there, that was hard. Enforcers don't have Nova Shock in Epic yet. That would be a cool additional model to see pop up. I think the reverse for me is I want to see some of this stuff that finally saw the light of day in Epic shift its way over to Firefight, like the Lancer tank being a prime example. The Lancer was referenced in the original Warpath lore book, and we never saw a physical model of it until now with the release of Epic. So I think it would be cool to see some of that stuff migrating its way back over into the bigger games. But to echo Kira, what you said about um, not being able to take enough Hornets, I feel the same way about Accusers. I want to run more Interceptors, and giving up that support slot for a flying transport is a hard choice to make.
Yeah, like if the transports were moved over into like not the support slot, what's the other one?
That's where the
Specialist.
specialist.
The specialist slot, then that would make um air assault
Yeah, because
lists
then
for
it would
it would
serve
make
as an
air assault lists
unlock too.
possible. Yeah. Yep. But it is what it is. Maybe we'll see something in the future. Oh, one more thing I really want to see at some point is Maison Labs. Just the zombie horde supported by
Just take your Plague
GCPS.
army and your GCPS army and smash them together.
Pretty much. But they do have like all grenade launcher or all flamethrower squads, so there's a little bit of uniqueness or difference there from regular GCPS.
I mean, there's got to be a rebel army at some point, right? The Rebs still haven't seen Firefight. I don't know that they'll see Epic.
Veerman,
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say for Veerman, I think everything is actually pretty solidly represented, and unit wise or add-ons, I don't wish for anything. The units are great in Veerman. The HQ just leaves me like they're there. They exist. I see no reason to take them other than just as an unlock, which I find sad. Just I don't know. Somebody educate me
I don't know, man.
later on.
Armor 6, save 6, assault 4 on your brood mother. She's pretty mean. 16-inch command radius, green
Can,
die,
can be.
assault 4.
Can be.
Yeah, the progenitor is clearly the one that's on your sprue because he's nothing impressive.
Right.
The tangle gives you cunning.
Yeah.
That lets you switch, if I remember correctly.
You compare them to other HQs and you're like, okay, they're there. But the rest of the Veerman forces more than make up for it. Like, throw Night Terrors or Mutant Rat Fiends at things and people will cry.
Yeah, is that you threw mutant rat fiends at me when we played, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. Those were
Those
the
were not friendly.
no.
I
So
tried not.
I get it if the Veermen have stinky commanders because of that, but they're just like, ugh. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's it for me. Just I don't know, tweak to the commanders or give me something exciting that I want to bring.
Well, and one of the things I really like about Mantic is that they run a rules committee that's built out of the player base that kind of keep an eye on and stay in touch with Mantic about what's up with the game and what's wrong. And like if Mantic wants to push something out, they're like, play test this, level this, stat this, and tell us what you think. And they also come back. I mean, that's the big reason we got command protocols. It's a big reason we got alignment protocols with Firefight. So there's an active player base out there who's actually playing games and is familiar with the game, who are trying to keep the rule set fresh and moving forward. So that was a long-winded way of saying enough time goes by. I'm sure Epic Warpath is going to see a similar or same treatment.
But as it stands right now, I think mechanically everything's really good. So probably won't see that for a while yet.
No, yeah, the rule set seems really tight, and like I said, I want to beat the game up a lot more than we have. But
We need
being
some
old
more
and
games
having
too.
kids,
We've not played like a serious game. We've played some demo games, so
Mhm.
we have a lot more to discover.
Yeah, we definitely need to get a GordoCon scheduled and just go have a self-contained tourney. Well, moving up to the end of our list here, hobby portion, the inspiring self portion, Josh.
That should have been the name of this podcast.
Inspiring self. I didn't dislike it. Gonna get a whole different wave of followers with that, but uh, so Jordan, what's on your hobby desk?
I've actually assembled some some Kings of War, Forces of the Abyss since Michigan GT. Not a lot of them, but some.
How are
Do
they
you have,
assembling for you, Jordan?
Fine, I suppose. I don't know. It's just plastic goose glue, melting plastic, sticking plastic together.
I mean, is like their molds starting to slip a bit? Like how we?
Oh no, these. I'm enjoying the sculpts.
Okay.
Kira, what about you? What do you get on the desk right now?
all the stuff that you made for me, but I'm currently working on the Ranger Tank Hunters and the Big Stompy Robot, which I
Better
will
man.
eventually remember the name of that unit.
It's GPS battle mech.
Yes, I know it's generic-ish, but I can never remember it.
You need to give it a sexier name.
Stompy Boy.
Don, you said you were working on buildings earlier. Are you still chugging away on those?
Yes, I am currently scratching my head trying to figure out how I want to build the epic terrain sets that we got. I got 2 of the free sprues and then 2 of the basic sets.
Oh,
Were those
cool.
free? I can't remember.
I don't think the basic sets were free. I think those were
Okay,
add-ons.
I must have paid for it then. All right.
Oh yeah, and I'm working on some. Sorry to interrupt. And I'm working on some terrain stuff in AutoCAD or in Fusion 360,
Oh,
which I
nice.
asked one of you guys to like print out for me, and no one's taken me up on that offer. So I guess my initial design is horrible.
Listen, I saw your request and then promptly ignored it because I was at work. So
Yep.
I didn't
it's
see
not
that.
personal.
I must have missed that in the endless chatter.
I think my response in my head was "fuck you, Kirill. I printed enough stuff for you."
Well, this would be for you. This is like the start of a modular terrain tile system. I just need somebody
Nice.
to help me print the prototype.
I thought Jordan responded to you on that.
He responded with what nozzle size most people use.
Oh,
I I don't think any of you guys have looked at the file itself to see if it's actually printable
I've
or what's going to be
I've
problematic. So maybe you guys
I've
will
not.
one day.
Is that a challenge?
That's a request, a plea for help.
Request.
It's a cry for help. All right, Josh. I think you talked earlier what you have on your table, but why don't you talk about it again?
Forge Fathers, got some quality HQ units, so I'm gonna put some quality dwarfs on the table.
Nice. Keep the dragons happy. I have my squad of Enforcer jet bikes. I am just about done with them, and then I'll be moving on to. I've got some Panthers, some Victors, a Maven, and a Draken to finish up, and I will have painted everything for the Enforcers, and then I will
Sweet.
rest.
Yeah, that'll look nice. I want to see it all on the table, but staged, like on a
I do too.
battlefield.
I do too. I want to play with my toys. I'll shamelessly plug myself while I'm at it too. I've been doing some paint videos on the Epic stuff as I go through it. I know there's a lot of people in the community that have never done anything 10 mil, and we lived there for a long while, so feels like coming home.
It is. I'm very much enjoying the 10 millimeter scale again.
Well, we're just about coming up on an hour here. I think that's probably a good place to wrap this up. I know this was kind of a disjointed, rambling episode of us just kind of figuring out what we want to say and do with this podcast moving forward. But as we close this out, Jordan, do you have any final thoughts?
No.
Deep and thought-provoking.
Right. Maybe next time. Need to get a few games in.
Carol, how about you?
I have thoughts. I always have thoughts. None of them are worth sharing.
Don?
Same as Jordan. I think we just need more games to provide better content. But yes, coming from playing Drop Zone for a very long time, that's how our community was built. Having a cohesive game for us to play again has been like a nice breath of fresh air. And
Agreed.
I've not spent much time on the hobby table in years, and I've been doing it several days a week since we started playing. So
That alone is a victory.
Right.
Josh, anything from you?
You know what? Just a quick rules thing. Vicious is different in Epic than Firefight. So if
It
you're
is?
familiar with Firefight, uh, now with Epic, you have exploding 8s when you go to wound if you have Vicious. So just keep that in mind. It's not re-rolling those 1s.
I discovered when I played in the Dead Zone tournament at MGT, which was like the first real Dead Zone games I had ever gotten in, that there are similar issues there, and I cannot remember the rules off the top of my head, but there are the same name for rules, but they function differently between Dead Zone, Firefight, and Epic, which means I'll be confusing those for years to come. Well, that'll bring us to the end for this first episode. I hope you enjoyed your time with us. If not, I understand. I think we're going to try to do this monthly, and next time we come back, we'll try to be a little more focused and on task and have a far more targeted discussion about something. And we'll kind of leave that up to any hopeful community engagement we get. Find us at the Pinned and Broken Facebook group. Comment on wherever you listen to this podcast at. And other than that, thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you again.